Peeps, what's the deal? It's another start of week recap, and right now you're looking at a deadlift session from last Monday. So I was feeling pretty tired for this one. I'd been working all day, finished work at 5 o'clock and into the gym that night. But I still went through it feeling quite tight, but started off on some cleans from the floor, power cleans from the floor. Again, not my biggest strength Olympic lifting due to terrible ankle mobility and struggling to get my chest up, but I still do them nonetheless. Great for building strength speed, which is what I'm going after now. After that, went on to sumos. So this was 3 sets of 8 with 72.5%. Now I tried out a belt. Obviously, I scrapped the diet for a while and just decided to eat into the weight basically the last while. So I'm actually weighing around 100 kilos here, and tried the belt out, and it's so tight trying it at the same notch as I did. So I had to undo a notch after this and actually just took off the belt. Felt incredibly uncomfortable with the belt, as you can see, a bit out of groove here. Still went through them. Did 3 sets of 8 here. Was really struggling to get my hips forward, as you can see. Was really just sort of using brute strength to get through these deadlifts. I know it's a fairly small nuance to notice, but I definitely noticed myself here, and I could feel it at the time that I was really struggling to tense up my quads and my glutes before I pulled, and I couldn't get in the right position. And then, as you can see, the belt didn't help there as I tried to get it off. So in the next set, I went beltless, and it felt a bit better. You can see there, pulling the chest up well off the floor, and no real rounding in the back. So yeah, good. Knees tracking over the toes. They felt a bit better. Still fighting against tightness from working very long hours on the floor of a restaurant. And that's something I've been noticing since I've been getting more hours in work. Working 35 to 40 hour weeks in a restaurant really takes it out of you. And I really have to start taking that into account in terms of recovery. I have another video coming up on recovery and overtraining next. But yeah, noticed it as I was doing these. I've been trying out some light enough conventional deadlifts as a main assistance work on this wave of training. Really shit at these. I never do conventional deadlifts, but I'm deciding to work on my weaknesses quite severely. So literally just gripping and ripping those. I think I did 3 sets of 8 as well. And then on to stiff leg deficit deadlifts. Really firing on the hamstrings. Notice back position is still quite neutral there, still quite good. Brilliant exercise for building size in the hamstrings and also building strength in an awkward position. Look how low I go down here. I'm really touching the tops of my feet on a deficit with the bar, you know. So that's what it's about. Doing things that are uncomfortable will build huge amounts of strength. I think I crushed my foot after dropping the bar there. I tried to act like I didn't. Onto the bench day. This actually felt really good, this bench day. I don't know, I've used a different bar here than I usually do. It felt a bit thicker, just a bit more solid, I suppose. It sounds a bit weird, but it did. So working on pause bench, competition bench. As of the past couple of weeks, I've been really working on getting my chest high and pausing on the chest as I would in competition, and it's actually feeling really good. It's I nearly feel on par with my touch and go bench now with my pause. So yeah, that's a good sign. So again, 3 sets of 8 here with 72.5%. So I think it was 95 kilos or something for 3 sets of 8 pause bench, which isn't bad, you know. So unrack here. But it also makes it more real for me that before, like a lot of my big bench numbers, I remember I've touch and go benched 140 kilos before, but that was with heels off the floor, benching on my toes, and not bounce. It's a touch and go bench. It wouldn't pass in competition basically. So that's what I'm working for here, being more legitimate with my benching. So heels are on the floor and pausing on the chest. After that, yeah, so after that I moved on to Spoto press, as you may have seen before. So it was 90 kilos for 4 sets of 6, I believe. I think I changed it up as the sets went along. I started getting in the groove more. So I think this might be the first set. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I'm only actually pausing for 1 or 2 seconds. As I got to the 3rd and 4th set, I was actually pausing for a set of 5. But no, these are feeling really great. Really working. It's something I haven't done a lot of, pause work, you know, and I think my bench could really blow up as a result of that. Working on weaknesses, working out of sticking points and whatnot. So here's the 5-second pause set. So last set, still feeling quite good. Really adapted to high volume training now after a while. So 5-6 weeks into the program, and really starting to get used to it. And yeah, start thriving in those rep ranges. So I've got Craig there calling out the 5s to me. Something I really need, yeah. The set actually felt quite good. Getting a lift out and then having someone call out the press commands and counting down. I think I actually need to get a proper training partner. I train far too much by myself. After that, the main sort of hypertrophy assistance work I did was basically just dumbbell presses to fail. So I think you can see there, they're 35s. I think I did this for a set of 20. And just went to fail on the next 2 sets after that. You notice I don't dumbbell press for ego purposes or to be measured by weight. I don't really give a shit what I dumbbell press. You know, so you notice I'll always go down and always lock out. I'm not bullshitting. I always have a purpose in mind with those reps. So you see people, oh, I can dumbbell press fucking 50 kilo dumbbells for 10, but they can't even bench press 100 kilos for 10, and they're bullshitting themselves and not going the full way down. So really get down and feel the stretch in your chest when you're doing those. But after that, I did a good bit of pulling work, so you can see the chin-ups before that getting a bit harder as I get heavier. And then, as you've seen before, the one-arm jammer press rows. Again, slightly more fixed movement than doing dumbbell rows, so I could really feel it far more on the lats than I usually do. But yeah, I've been really concentrating on contracting when doing all my pulling work these days, and I've noticed my back has actually gotten a bit bigger as I've put on a bit more size. Supersetted them with the band pull-aparts. Then on to the squat day. As you can see, the t-shirt I'm wearing, I'm now sponsored by Fireline Strong. So they're basically it wouldn't be a worldwide, but they're a cool company that do supplements and clothing, and they sponsor strength athletes. And they saw one of my Instagram posts and said, we like what you're putting out, so we'd like to sponsor you. So yeah, sent me out some t-shirts, and they sent me out some pre-workout and a cool shaker cup. So for this workout, I was absolutely caffeinated out of my mind. 2 scoops of their Vigor pre-workout, which is like fucking rocket fuel, and a monster while I was warming up. So here, my head, I completely overdid it on the stimulants, so my head was completely gone. Again, this is after a full day's work, so this is a nighttime squat session. So it felt a bit strange, but still fired through. So there's 3 sets of 8 here with 135 kilos, which is 72.5%. I've been practicing a Mark Repito stance of squatting here, so I know I squat very wide, but this is actually quite narrow for me, and thumbs are over the bar, so I'm really concentrating squatting through the middle of my foot and really engaging the glutes and popping the hips up out of the bottom. After that, as you may have seen last week, I used box squats. I've lowered the box slightly here, still using the same weight. Really not looking to overload this movement at all, which I could do in the next phase, but at the moment I'm really just looking for really solid technique, breathing deep breath, pushing the knees out, and really contracting from a static position here at the bottom. So I think I did 4 sets of 8 possibly. Whatever, anyway, they're feeling quite good. I haven't done them in a while. Very short amount of footage here on the main assistance work. So back extensions. You notice the left side, the left cushion there was actually sticking out and it collapsed. So it was like getting stabbed in the balls there as I did the back extensions. Was really tired. Sorry there. Quick death. So yeah, after the back extensions, single leg step ups. Then quickly on to some overhead press work on the Saturday. So again, these are feeling great. I think that's why my bench is also feeling the result of these. You know, the overhead press has been feeling good, so as a result my bench will obviously feel good. So this is 62.5 kilos for 3 sets of 8. Absolutely blasted through these, which is quite irregular, but yeah, as my overhead press strength is increasing, I think my upper body strength is increasing as a whole. So guys, I think that's it. I didn't really include any more footage of this day because basically it's you've seen it before. So next week is the last week of the 8th wave, and I will basically retest my numbers, push up my maxes, and I'm going to change around some of the exercises I'm doing. So hopefully a fresh recap for you next week with something different. This is the last that I did. Guys, thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe, and catch you next time.